Hello, welcome to the second video for week 2. The previous video focuses on the importance of legal research and the need for strategy when approaching your research question. This section focuses on creating an online search strategy. Online research begins with a database and a search engine. A database is an electronic collection containing, for example, related documents such as Singapore case law, Malayan law journals, or Singapore statutes. Paid online searches such as LawNet, Lexis, and Westlaw comprise many databases such as journal collections, case law, and legislation for various jurisdictions. Search engines are used to search electronic databases. The advantage of paid services like Lexis and Westlaw is that they allow you to formulate very specific search requests. Global searches are usually not possible, and you need to identify a category of material to search. To harness this power, it is necessary to apply a search strategy. First, let's understand by what we mean by online search strategy. When faced with your research question, the next stage is to identify keywords that might be used to identify these concepts. Remember to consider terminologies used by the courts and experts and the possible variations among the jurisdictions. Then, think of alternative ways to express these concepts. Remember that a concept can be expressed in a number of different ways. Tools such as the thesaurus and dictionary can help you think of alternative terms. You will also need to think about how close the words should appear in the document. For instance, whether they should appear in the same sentence or in the same paragraph, as this will influence the relevancy of your search results. Last but not least, you need to evaluate your search results. Refine your search further based on new information such as the date range and new terms that you found. Repeat the process until you get satisfactory results. Then you need to move on to writing your research paper. As I mentioned in the earlier slide, it is important to start your research spending some time thinking of the relevant issues and concepts. Mind mapping is an excellent way to visualize the issues and how they may be related. It also helps to identify some keywords to use in your preliminary search later. Here's an example of a mind map taken from a book by Peter Clinch's Legal Research Practitioner's Handbook. This mind map identifies the relevant facts and issues regarding a road traffic accident. Pause the video for a few minutes to explore the mind map in more detail. Once you have identified the potential issues and concepts, you can think of the possible keywords and alternative phrases. Here's an example of word association using the word employees as taken from the aforementioned book by Peter Clinch. The various alternatives will be useful when trying to combine various terms in your search statement. Now that you have your keywords and terms, you need to connect them in a way that online search engines can process them. Your keywords or terms need to be strung together by connectors, also known as Boolean operators. The right combination of terms and connectors will help you unlock more relevant results. It will also prove to be a more cost-effective search. The first connector is used when conducting a phrase search. In this example, it is used to retrieve documents that contain only the exact phrase, poison pill. Quotation marks are placed around the words as shown on the screen. Only documents containing the words exactly in the specific order will be retrieved. The most common connector is AND. It is used when you want both terms to appear in documents retrieved. For example, entering negligence and causation means that the search engine will only retrieve documents if they contain both terms. This helps narrow your search down as it removes documents that only contain one or the other. The OR operator serves to broaden your search. You will use it when you want to specify alternative keywords or synonyms. For example, entering equitable or beneficial will retrieve documents that either have the term equitable or beneficial. This function is also useful for abbreviations. If you are looking for cases involving DBS, you may use this to search for DBS or Development Bank of Singapore. The truncation function is often represented by an exclamation mark. When placed at the end of the word, it allows one to search for documents containing any variation of the word endings. For example, when placed at the end of reason, it retrieves documents containing reason, reasons, reasoning, and reasonable. This saves a lot of time, as the alternative would be to have to type out manually reason, reasons, reasoning, or reasonable into the search engine box. It is important to think very carefully about where you truncate your search terms. Truncate it properly. Negligent with an exclamation mark instead of a T will give you negligence and negligent. If you were looking for variations of defame, truncating after DEFAM will give you defamation, defame, and defamed. However, if you try to truncate after DEF, this will give you defined, definite, and defaced, which would not be relevant terms that you are looking for. The wildcard action acts as a placeholder for one character. It can be a useful function when you're looking for variations with spelling. If you are looking for the word organization, you could substitute the letter S or Z with an asterisk, and this will retrieve documents containing either organization with an S or organization with a Z. Another example is retrieving documents that include woman with an A or woman with an E. It is also useful for spelling errors, as shown in the example of Bernstein. It is important to remember that the asterisk represents one character. Although this is a useful function, it is likely you will not have to use it frequently. Using proximity connectors allows you to determine how close the terms appear in the document retrieved in your search. Increasing the proximity between your terms increases the probability that the terms are related. The proximity operator W/n represents within n number of words. N typically can be any number between 1 to 25, depending on how close together you want your terms to be. So for instance, having the search query pay W/3 television means pay within 3 words or less of the word television. This means any document retrieved may mention the words pay, preview, television, or television you pay to watch. You can also use the connector W/S. This is within the same sentence, such as having the word design within the same sentence as the word defect. W/P is within the same paragraph. Let's say you are interested in cases discussing common law marriage. Which search would be more likely to retrieve more relevant cases? Having the search query common and law and marriage, or having common law in quotation marks within the same sentence as the word marriage? It seems reasonable to suppose that cases discussing common law marriage would have the terms relatively close together, that is, common law and the term marriage in the same sentence. Cases with the terms appearing on different pages of the opinion may be less likely to be relevant. When conducting your online search, you will have multiple terms and multiple connectors. Parentheses help you group together the terms you want processed first. Compare the two search statements. They will give you very different results depending on where the parentheses are placed. The first one, a search engine will process by retrieving documents that have the terms journalist and defamation. Then it will search for documents containing journalist and publish. In the second statement, it will search for documents containing the terms journalist and defamation, and then it will search for the other documents where the word publish appears. You can see that the results will be very different. Here's a tip. It is best to start your search broad and do not include too many search terms in your initial search. You can always refine or modify your search later by adding more keywords and more connectors. You may know this as searching within your results. This method of online search will save you cost in the long run. If you start a search that is too specific and you do not get enough results, you will have to start again, and this will be considered as a second search charge. It is important that you master searching using terms and connectors, or Boolean. Many online databases still require this method of searching to achieve the best results. The good news is, once you have mastered terms and connectors, you can apply it to any search engine, even Google. The only downside is that different databases may have different symbols to represent the different connectors. To make life easier, we have placed the tables for the different symbols used on LawNet, Lexis, and Westlaw in this video, as well as in our research guides. This brings us to the end of the section on online search strategies. Please email any questions you may have to library@smu.edu.sg. Thank you for watching.